Well, good afternoon. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional with Highland Mortgage, coming to you with this week's interest rate summary and market update. So interest rates still good, although we are a far cry from the historic lows in 2020 and very early 2021. This is a familiar refrain. We've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, and the trend continues as the U.S. economy starts to recover. The vaccinations really start to take hold. Now vaccinations have become such a common thing. I'm sure if you haven't already been vaccinated, you know someone who has, and I know I've got my first shot scheduled for next Monday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm sure many of you do as well. So as these vaccinations start to take hold, we're going to see growth. And we're going to see growth in a lot of sectors that have been hit hard, like the service industry. For instance, the non-farm payroll number posted today, and it beat expectations, almost doubled expectations in terms of job creation, and a lot of that creation happened in the service sector. Now, there's still a lot of jobs that have to be added back. We're a far cry from being there, but we have started, right? We've started to exceed expectations in terms of the economy reopening. Let's take a look at what's happened with mortgage-backed securities over the past couple of days. Relatively flat week. We saw a rough start to the week. Red days are bad days where interest rates are going up. So red days here at the beginning of the week. We got a little bit of recovery yesterday, and then today we've given all of that back. That's because of that non-farm payroll number that beat expectations by such a large measure. Now, the U.S. economy is set to rebound this year. We're predicting growth of upwards of 6.5%. That's certainly the highest of any nation worldwide. This is all centered around our vaccination program. The United States has 3 vaccines, all of them particularly effective. The rest of the world doesn't have quite the access, certainly not the organized rollout that the United States has had, and that's going to create this disparity as we recover over the next 6 to 12 months. You're going to see the United States as an outlier compared to the rest of the world. Even Asia, not quite as impactful with Asia as it is with Europe, which seems to be mired in their vaccination rolled out. Of course, the AstraZeneca vaccine, some negative headlines there, and just not quite the distribution and availability in Europe that we're seeing in the United States. So the United States economy and those economies that are closely tied to the United States are really set like a powder keg to go off here in the next 6 to 12 months. That will be interesting as it pertains to inflation, because mortgage rates hate inflation. And as inflation goes up, we're going to see interest rates start to creep up as well. That's our short-term trend. If you're looking out there wondering, hey, when are rates going to moderate? We're going to head back down to those historic lows that we experienced late 2020, early 2021. That's not going to happen anytime soon. We're going to see this trend continue with interest rates starting to tick up. Making matters more complicated, especially here in Atlanta, is just the reduced, almost historic low inventory that we're seeing. It's just bidding war after bidding war for real estate agents and home buyers. Very, very difficult market to capture a home. I know I personally have over a dozen clients that have been out there looking, putting in offers. Their offer doesn't get accepted. They move on to the next property, and there are just so few properties available, especially when you get into in-town Atlanta. So one of the things that we've rolled out here at Highland Mortgage is our conditional commitment letter. So instead of a traditional pre-qualification or pre-approval letter, we're issuing a conditional commitment letter for qualifying borrowers, those borrowers with whom we've verified credit, income, assets, and employment, so they can go out and put an offer in that's got a little more teeth, really reduce those financing contingencies. If they're putting down enough money, perhaps even remove the appraisal contingency with the receipt of a property inspection waiver. So trying to help in any way possible in this incredibly competitive market. If I can help you at all over Easter weekend, please don't hesitate to reach out. Mark.Milam@highlandmtg.com, 404-395-1102. Have a good weekend, everybody.